Cameron Myers just did something that should not be possible at 17 years old. The noise inside the arena in New York was already building before the gun even fired. Indoor meets carry a different intensity. The crowd is close. Every footstep echoes. Every move feels immediate. There's no place to hide on a 200-meter oval. And on this night, a 17-year-old from Australia stepped onto that tight indoor track with something far bigger than a race on the line. When Cameron Myers crossed the finish line and the clock stopped at 3:53.12 for the mile, the building reacted instantly. Coaches stood up, athletes leaned over the rail, phones came out, because everyone understood what they had just witnessed. That was not just another fast time. That was history. At 17 years old, Myers shattered the under-20 indoor mile world record. He did not sneak under it by a fraction. He lowered it to a mark that most professional milers never approach in their entire careers. A 3:53 indoor mile is world-class at any age. At 17, it is something entirely different. To understand how massive this performance is, you have to understand the mile itself. The mile remains one of the most iconic distances in athletics. 4 laps outdoors, just over 8 laps indoors. It demands speed, strength, patience, and courage. Indoors, it becomes even more unforgiving. The turns are sharper, the straights are shorter, the rhythm is constantly disrupted. Every lap feels compressed. There is no wide open space to relax. You are always turning, always adjusting. Running 3:53 indoors requires near-perfect pacing. It requires strength through the final lap when oxygen debt hits hard. It requires the ability to close under pressure. And on this night in New York, Cameron Myers showed all of it. From the gun, the field moved aggressively. Indoor races can become tactical, but this one had pace. The early laps were honest. Nobody was jogging. Myers did not panic. He stayed controlled, tucked into position, relaxed through the shoulders, efficient through the arms. That composure is rare in young athletes. Many teenagers go out too hard or hesitate too long. Myers did neither. By the halfway point, the tempo was clear. This was going to be fast, very fast. The splits were clicking by at a level that would test experienced professionals. Yet Myers remained smooth, no visible strain, no wasted motion. Each stride landed clean and deliberate. The third quarter of the mile is where races often fall apart. It is the point where early excitement fades and reality sets in. Lactic acid builds. Breathing grows heavier. Doubt creeps in. That is where champions separate themselves. As the race tightened and the pace held, Myers did not fade. He held position. He absorbed the pressure. Then came the bell lap. The sound of the bell inside an indoor arena is sharp and electric. 1 lap to go. 200 meters of turning left. Just enough distance for brilliance or heartbreak. Myers moved with authority. Not reckless, not desperate. He positioned himself with intent. Coming off the final bend, he unleashed his finish. This is where the race became unforgettable. His stride lengthened, his cadence lifted. He did not tie up, he accelerated. In the final straight, he drove through the line as the clock flashed 3:53.12. For a split second, there was confusion as people processed the time. Then realization. A record had fallen, and not just any record. The under-20 indoor mile world record is not a casual mark. It represents the fastest teenagers on the planet. It represents generational talent. Myers did not just edge it, he redefined it. What makes this performance even more remarkable is the context of his age. 17-year-olds are usually learning how to handle senior competition. They are adjusting to travel, pressure, media attention. Myers is already competing at a level that forces senior professionals to pay attention. Sub-4-minute miles are still a global benchmark. Breaking 4 minutes is considered entry into elite territory. Myers ran nearly 7 seconds faster than that benchmark indoors. Indoors. To appreciate the magnitude, consider how rare 3:53 is in the professional ranks. Many national champions never reach that level indoors. It requires a combination of aerobic development, raw speed, racing intelligence, and psychological resilience. Myers has shown that he possesses all 4. This performance also signals something larger about Australian middle-distance running. Cameron Myers now stands at the front of that new wave. His rise is not accidental. It is built on years of disciplined training. careful progression and exposure to high-level competition. Is no longer a promising junior. He is no longer a promising junior. He is a legitimate threat. Senior athletes preparing for global championships now know that one of the fastest men in the world at this distance is still in high school age range. Coaches around the world are studying the splits. Athletes are watching the replay. The message is clear. The next era is arriving sooner than expected. Another key factor in this performance is racing maturity. Many young athletes possess raw speed. Few understand how to distribute effort across a mile at world-class pace. Myers demonstrated control early, patience in the middle, and aggression at the end. That balance is what separates prodigies from long-term champions. Indoor racing magnifies mistakes. A poor position entering a turn can cost precious meters. A moment of hesitation can trap you behind a fading runner. Myers navigated traffic with calm precision. That awareness suggests a high racing IQ beyond his years. Then, there is the finishing speed. The final lap of a 3:53 mile requires a brutal combination of anaerobic power and mental toughness. As the body screams to slow down, the mind must override it. Myers did not just survive the final lap, he attacked it. The crowd in New York sensed it in real time. There are moments in sport when you realize you are witnessing the beginning of something significant. Not just a fast race, but the arrival of a new force. This felt like one of those moments. As the meet concluded, conversations centered on one name, Cameron Myers. Analysts debated how far he could go. Former athletes discussed how rare such composure is at 17. Social media lit up with disbelief at the time. Yet beyond the headlines and excitement, the performance speaks through numbers. 3:53.12, a mark etched into the record books, a standard that redefines what is possible for under 20 athletes indoors. The mile has always carried mythic status in athletics. From historic sub-4-minute breakthroughs to legendary Olympic finals, it captures imagination like few events can. On this night in New York, a teenager added his chapter to that legacy. There will be tougher races ahead. There will be setbacks and challenges. Every great career includes them. But this performance provides a foundation of belief. It confirms that Cameron Myers belongs in conversations once reserved for established stars. For now, one fact stands clear. At 17 years old, Cameron Myers has forced the global middle distance community to recalibrate its expectations. The under-20 indoor mile world record is his, the spotlight is his, and the future of the mile just became far more exciting. In a sport measured by tenths of a second, sometimes a single race can shift the entire landscape. New York witnessed that shift. The clock read 3:53.12, and a new era began.